My name is Natalie Prez, and I have an interview with the member of the band The Beauty and Death on August 25th, 2025. So, to kick things off, please tell me a little history about the band and its members,
Oh man. Okay.
even if you have to
Hi.
do it in a summary.
Hi. Um, I'm Damien. I'm the singer. But I'm glad that this is the first question. So I'll try to make this very short because this could go on for 2 hours. So there's 7 people in our band. I'll just state everybody's name first. My name is Damien. I'm the singer, or Damien Angel. That is my real legal name. This is not a show name. I will show you my driver's license if I have to. Um, the next person in our band is Brianna. She's our drummer. And then we have Rook, our bass player. And then we have 3 guitar players. And that is Francisco, Ivan, and Ethan. And then we also have a synth player, and his name is Gabe. And so the reason why I said, oh man, is because Francisco and I started the band in high school, and we didn't really do too much because we didn't really know what we were doing. And also, I wanted to be the singer, but I was way too shy. I was very introverted, and that was not going to happen. Um, and we didn't really do anything, but we pretended we were one really hard, and we like made shirts and we did everything but make music, and it was kind of funny looking back at it. And there was a different members, like my friend Austin. He used to be the drummer, and there was 2 other people, but I only know one of the person's name. This guy, his name's Josh. We were all like really good friends. I can't remember the bass player's name. Him and I didn't get along very well, and I don't mean that as in like I forgot him because I don't like him. I just, it's been so long. That was like over 10 years ago. Because I'm 28 now, so I graduated high school 2015. So I'm like, I can't remember these people anymore. So, anyways, there's that. Him and I stayed making music forever. And then eventually during COVID, we were just like, do you want to start the band back up? And at this point, I've already played shows in different band doing being the drummer. And so I've got confidence, and then I became the vocalist. And then how everybody else came into play is kind of a is its own little funny story. Ethan and I were in a band together called X2O. That broke up. It was basically a Linkin Park ripoff. um, so that was cool. And then he went to that was a thing. And then I was trying to think of how everybody else came into the band. I basically brought everybody and I found everybody except for our bass player. And that is an interesting story that we'll have to tell another day, but I can give you the little detail. So I found Ethan. I found Gabe through a mutual friend. Okay, so sorry, tangent, but it's truth of the story. How we found Gabe and how X2O was a band is Alex is a friend of mine. We played in a band together. That band broke up because Alex went to a band, and then he was like, "Hey, by the way, my cousin wants to do music. Do you want a keyboard player?" As kind of like his way to be like, "Sorry, I quit our band for a bigger band," and we were just like, "All right, cool. Say less. Like, we'll take it." And and how Brianna is actually my dad and her dad are in an 80s band, and that's her, like, so basically she's like my sister. So I just was like, hey, you want to be in our band? Because our original drummer quit, and it took a lot of like convincing because she was very much like, no, I'm better than you, I don't want this. And then finally when she saw us play, she was like, I'm in. And that's a whole story. I'll let her tell that one day, but because I'm probably overselling it. Ivan, I met through a mutual friend, and man, everything's like dark. Like his band broke up, they hated each other. I was friends with both people. I stayed out of it, and I brought Ivan in the band because he was in Chico and graduated university and moved back. They're from Concord. And then the other guy stayed, and then now he came back and they patched up and they're in their own band. Rook came into the band because of Ivan, and they met at a rave out in the woods. Yeah, so that's why I'm like, that's a whole story of itself that needs to be heard from their point of view, because I don't do any drugs, and I'm sure there was a lot of stuff that was done in that night out in the woods. Did I cover everybody? I hope I did. I was going all over the place. Me, Francisco, high school, Ivan, Ethan, Brianna, Gabe, Rook. Yeah, I covered everybody. Sorry. Yeah, that was a whole thing. I don't know.
All right. So what's the origin of the band's name? The Beauty in Death? How is there beauty in death? If you could look at it like that.
You know, I'm glad that you asked this because we've had a lot of people die recently because we're all kind of older now.
Oh,
Um, yeah, it's actually really sad. I told you, I don't know why, everything's just getting dark. I'm so sorry, Natalie. um, yeah, we're all like in our late 20s, early 30s, and so just like that part of life and that cycle, like it's just usually a lot comes or a lot changes. Um, so how the band name came about is from Francisco. It was made in high school, and obviously we're in high school, we just wanted to be edgy and it just sounded really cool. But the alternative name that we would have had was actually called like Wrath of Athena, but we were like, nah, that one's way cooler. And then now as we get older, I'm like, it's probably better we picked this name because if the way I look at it is Wrath of Athena sounds very like deathcore kind of,
mhm.
and we're like a metalcore band that does kind of everything. And I feel like with our band name, it gives us the option to kind of do everything. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like if you have a certain band name, it's like this is what they are, this is the sound they go for.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but that's pretty much it. But if I had to give you like some like detailed thing about it, we've talked about it now, and the reason why I like our band name is it's kind of almost like the circle of life. Like everything is beautiful, and unfortunately, everything and everyone sadly does pass away. And so it's kind of almost just like, to me, the way I look at it is like you should live every day like it's your last, because you really never know what's going to happen, and you should just be very happy. And no matter how hard your life is, like just like try your best to like make it the best you can and do everything, because at the end of the day, you never know, unfortunately, when it's going to end. Hopefully, that's a good enough answer.
Yeah. Maybe for a future release, a single or the album or an EP, you could reference the old band name as that title.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be
Would be
fun.
a cool Easter egg for those who know, and now I know, so I would get it. Be like, hey, I remember you mentioned that.
That's a good idea.
um, so where is the band based out of? City, state, country wise? What's the music scene like there? Are there any local artists or bands out there that you would recommend checking out or you've played with that like, are cool? Like, hey, we opened for these guys, they were cool, check them out.
Oh man. Okay, so let me just open my spreadsheet of hundreds of bands and start inserting them for the next 2 hours.
Okay.
Um, okay, so we're from the overall like greater Bay Area. I'm from San Jose. Two people are from Sunnyvale, and then one person's from Fremont, and then the other two are from Concord. And so it's like it's very like, where are we based out of? We used to be very half and half, like East Bay and 408. So I can't see my other hand. And so we would just say like San Jose because most of us were from San Jose. But now I also live in Sunnyvale, which is still the 408. So it's like, well, now do we say San Jose or do we just say Sunnyvale? Because there's three of us here, and then the other three are over there. So it's pretty much the Bay Area. If you look at the map, we're all like just right in the center. Um, man, bands. There's so many. I'm gonna get so much hate for not naming. Why did you name my band name? Ah. Um. Okay, man. So I'm trying to think. Okay, well, I will say this: the biggest band right now. We haven't played with them, but I've seen them play and just shout them out. I'm sure you've heard of them or seen them. They're going to be at like When You're Young. Is Tsunami? It's okay. They're a hardcore band.
Hmm.
So I'm like I don't kind of know them personally, but I've seen them and I've played shows like in the overall like they've played shows with people, I've played shows with those people. But
Yeah.
if you had to pick the biggest band that's like in our scene that is like, world famous, I guess it'd be that band or Spite. Um, but I don't think Spite does too much anymore. But I could be wrong. Other than that, if we start getting to like local bands, there's hundreds, man. You got I feel like I'm gonna try to list off as many as I can without forgetting anybody. You have let's see, none. No, I'm just kidding. No. Oh god, this is bad. I'm bad on the spot. Okay, we got Camp Crystal. They don't have music out yet. We got Forever and Always. We have Losing Streak. They just put out an album. We have Giveaway. That's our friend Alex's band. Our old drummer is in Losing Streak. Um, Dahlia or Delilah Cross. They're gonna hate me because I've never got it right, and they tell me every time. They're our friends. The Sky Awaits. There we go. I got their name. They're like a synth crabcore band. If you're a fan of Ashes at Last or like Attack Attack, they're the guys for you. We have Usurper. You have Morte, or something like that from the 831. You got Vice and Vanity. You got Lost to the Void. That's a death metal slam band. If you're into them, that's my old mentor. You got Cruel Idols. You got, I was about to say Aniver. That's not their name anymore. You have Mercy Mine and Kubrick Stare because they're two different bands because their group went separated. Like I'm telling you, I could go on forever. I'm just trying to think of everybody without forgetting different scenes. We got Haunted Mask. They're blowing up on TikTok, which is kind of funny. Um,
I think
trying to
I
make
hit them up. The name sounds familiar.
yeah. I think they like some of your stuff. I remember seeing something pop up. Um, I'm trying to just get like three bands or four bands from every area. If I just looked up our show flyers, I could give you hundreds of bands right now. So that way nobody's mad. 1 second. Here we go. Okay. So watch. Here we go. I got this. Sovereign Suicide. That's another band from Sacramento. Midori. We're friends with them, but we haven't played with them yet. Actually, that's not true. We played at the Gilman with them. They're really cool. They're from Sacramento. You got Dead Ringer. Oh my God. If I did not remember that band, I'm so sorry if you guys watch this. You got The Tower of the Fool, Poverty, The Human Contortion, uh, Butane, Rosegate Avenue. I'm telling you, I could go on forever. There's so many bands. Um, try to just look at our flyers at this point. The American Dream, Wink, Die Mad, Here at the End. I can't believe I did almost forgot all those guys. um, Otter, don't even really know them too well. Parasite, don't even really know them too well, but they're all like I when I say them, like I've seen them play, they're really good live, but I haven't like, hey, what's up? I'm Damien, like I'm a big fan, we should play together, and all that stuff. I'm gonna forget a lot of other bands, but I could keep going. There's so much out here. Um, I will say this. Let me say this. What you should do if anybody watches this, you should look up Pinup Productions, RNRG, and Lapse of Memory, or Hit Me Up, which is mine is for the kids. Those are all four like really big, except for mine, like booking companies, and you'll see like crazy awesome bands on there, and you'll find new bands that you really love. I could also say um, Pete Danger and oh my God, I can't believe I almost forgot this. My friends in Rex Kwando, they're awesome. They kind of just took a hiatus though because their drummers go into a college and all that. So, but Yeah, there's so many other bands, and there's all the other people I know, but I am drawing a blank because it's all trying to just come out of the top of my head. So
All right. You mentioned it earlier about being a metalcore band. So is that how you would describe the style that you guys play, or?
yeah. We're a metalcore band. I mean, it's the weird part about metalcore nowadays, right? Is it's so like different from one another now. Like you have the Octane Radio stuff, you have the older stuff, and then you have more of like an emo thing, and then you have more of like a closer to a deathcore thing. So we don't know where we're at this point. We just kind of write whatever we want. I will say that we definitely have gotten more heavier because a lot of times with the bands that we played with, we've just kind of started to like, how do I say it? We started playing with heavier bands, and so we just started adapting. Like, oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. And so we've curated it more that way. And I would say that like if you listen to our old stuff online, I do a lot of high screams or whatever. But if you come watch us now, it's like I do all like lows because that just seems like what the people like more. So it's funny, like I don't know. We just played. Shout out Ryan from Titan. We just played the Titan Festival, and he was like, "Yeah, you guys played last year, and this time you guys sound more brutal." And it's like, "Yeah, that's because we added another guitar player, and I've only done more lows, and we've only added just more panic chords, the weird jarring
Mhm.
stuff." So it's like because that's like I don't know, like what people want to hear in our scene. It's funny. I don't know. So but I like everything from the weird emo post hardcore with 90% singing, 10% screaming to I used to play in a slam grindcore band to the most gurgly, gross, disgusting vocal thing that you could hear. So I'm fine with anything and I'll do anything. I'm happy with it. So I just know that we just like to add weird synthesizer music that you can't see
Mhm.
to it, and people either really love it or they really hate it, which has always been a thing for funny enough in metal. It's like, oh, do you even like the synth or do you hate the synth?
What have you released so far, and what can be expected from your works as far as, singles, albums, or what have you? What have you thrown out there?
That's a great question. So we have released absolutely nothing. No, I'm just kidding. Don't I don't cut that out, editor. No, I'm just kidding. Um, we have an EP. It's just 3 songs. Is a demo. It's a very over polished demo. And then we lost our drummer. So I'm trying to think back. We're in 2025, 2024, 2023. So 2023, we put out an EP. It's just 3 songs. And then we lost our drummer. Um, and then so we put out like an acoustic song and like an interlude thing. And that song is really pretty. So if you want to hear something really pretty and you need a sad song in your life for going through a breakup or loss, that song is for you. That song's called In Time. We don't play it all the time live, but when people do ask, it's fun because everybody will sing it with us. So I don't do anything. I just stand there awkwardly. I'm just kidding. um, and then we put out our song called In Case I Don't See You in 2025. I had to think of what year this year. And then we put out a cover that we did because we got to be added to this like pop goes punk, like brutal thing. It's made from this guy from Ear Door Records. I could be butchering his thing. Um, I will send you a link so you can find it. And then I don't know if you want to or whatnot, but you just put it on the screen like boom, that's the guy. But his band's called Pacific Skyline. You should check it out. It's really good. Um, and that's it for like the music we released. We were really slow about like putting out music, and it's not like we didn't want to. It's just we were taking like show after show after show after show after show, and then we went like 6 months without a drummer. It was crazy. Um, and then what you people don't know is during that 6 months, if we didn't find a fill-in, I was playing the drums and screaming. So for like 6 long months, I was doing double duty, excluding like a few dates. And that's usually where a band quits. But like we just said, excuse me, one time, fuck it, we ain't quitting. We're about this. And we just kept going. And it was pretty awesome. And every now and again, I'll have to because our drummer Brianna's in another band. So that was a lot to do with why we didn't put out music is because um, one, we just didn't have a drummer. Two, recording costs a lot of money to go to somebody. So we were also learning how to do it ourselves. And now, because we've just played a lot of shows and jammed a lot, we have like 12 songs. Like we have like a whole like 2 albums worth of music that's gonna like just come out. So I feel almost bad for the people that either love us or hate us because it's just like for the next like year or two, it's just like a song a month. Bop, 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 and people are gonna be like, dude, shut up already. Shut up. But it's just like, well, we've been sitting on a lot, and then also like the drummer thing that took a while, and then also just playing a lot of shows. And it's hard to it's hard, it's a weird balance. Like it's hard to do everything at once. And then at the same time, if you're not playing the shows, at least this is how I feel. I can't speak for the band. When we're like in the down part writing, I like get like really depressed because then I feel like I'm not doing anything because I'm the last person that does anything because I have to wait for everybody kind of, and they're really good. I'm usually the one that takes forever, so it's kind of I'm glad in a way. But the hardest part though is like I have to wait. So what'll happen is well they're writing and recording. I'm just saying yes to the shows. Yep, we'll play that. Yep, we'll play that. Yep, we'll play that. Uh, so I guess it's my fault, and I'm sorry. I'm the problem.
Uh, Mentioning that you do have, an array of songs yet to be released.
Yeah.
Um,
We also have like an array of songs that like we haven't even recorded. Like I kid you not, our guitar player Francisco, I don't know if I could say the joke. Um so I won't I'll tell you after, but I don't know if I could say it. Not that like it's cancelable, but just like I don't know how people are gonna react. But this dude, I don't know what it is, but like his like hit of dopamine and like the tism, you know what I'm saying? Is just like he will just write songs in his room all day forever. So every time we come to practice, which is every Wednesday, he's like, "Oh, I got a new song for you guys. I got a new song." So that's why it's like, but that's another problem we have is like he's like, I got a song. And then we're like, cool, let's jam to it. Let's write something. And then what'll happen is we all forget about the stuff that we have that we should be working on because he always has a new one. And then we have 3 guitar players. So like they also have songs they want to play. And then also I play guitar. So I have songs. I have like, let's do this. So we what we need is we need a manager or not really. Well, probably. We need like some band mom or dad to just be like, no, 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 no. Go sit in your corner. Finish those lyrics. Finish that recording. So yeah, sorry, that was a little bit of a tangent, but that's the truth. Like we went so long without a drummer, and then we've just stockpiled way too much music, and then it's just like, man, we probably should do something with this.
yeah. So it looks like you guys do have new music in the works. It just has to see the light of day. With so much music under your belts already, would you consider releasing a double album then, since you have so many songs available?
Um, I don't know. We would be down. What we probably could do is just a lot of different little EPs or whatever. So that's like the heated debate in our band is we're both back and forth. I guess ultimately I kind of make the final decision. I'm the one that controls the distro kid and pays for it. But I also like am not trying to be like, oh, I'm the dictator that chooses everything, try to leave it to a democracy. But I'm a more of a fan of singles, and that was before like singles are like the hot thing that everybody wants to do. I'm just more of a fan of like songs. I will listen to an album every now and again thoroughly all the way through. But like if you were to be like, hey Damien, what's your favorite album? I'd be like, I'm not really sure. I could tell you my one of my favorite songs and stuff like that, you know. So I'm not a big fan of it because I think I have too much ADHD and then I'll just get bored halfway through it or whatever. Um, but EPs I like because they're usually just like 5 songs. So, but then a lot of times now the way the world and music is like you need like a single, you need like a whole TikTok video, you need a whole music video. So it's like, well, what do you want to do? But at the same time, if you look down in like the San Diego or SoCal scene with our friends bands over there, a lot of them they seem to really like want like CDs and stuff. So that's really cool. And they'll like redo the whole like package deal with the shirt and stuff. It's like crazy how all the old stuff's coming back, even all the clothing and stuff. Um, which I'm sure you probably laugh at because you're probably like, "What the heck? This is what am I looking at right now? This was me." And because that's how I feel, so I can only imagine you feel the same. And and then up here, weirdly, people really like cassettes. So we've made like them into cassettes. So we'll see what happens. We're not against anything. I know that our guitar player really wants to get like a vinyl of the music. So, but I guess it really just comes down to making a decision. And sometimes that's the hard part. It's just like starting. Starting's the hardest part, and then making a final decision is the hardest part. We're back. What's up? I was gonna try to do something funny and be like, look at that. In this short time we were gone, I grew a mustache. But I didn't have anything. I didn't have a Sharpie. And then I decided, well, I'll just play guitar. So that's why I'm wrapping up this cable.
Okay. So the next question I was going to ask you before we got cut. Um, you've mentioned that your band has played shows. Do you have any upcoming shows or touring plans set between now and the rest of this year? I can't believe the rest of the year is already almost here.
You and me both. Tell me
Hmm.
about it. That's a good question, actually. We have, so it's funny to say because we are playing crazy amount of shows. We actually only really have like 3 right now to, and it's kind of slow. So the 2 shows we have, there's 2 going to be in San Jose. One of them is an all ages show at like a house. That's mainly like what we play. But the other show, they're both September 13th and the 14th. The other one is sadly a memorial show. Yeah, for one of our friends that passed away. He got hit on a motorcycle, or he got hit on his motorcycle. Yeah, so I guess I would like to say shout out to the Angry Caveman. Rest in peace, Curtis. You're the man. So sad. And Jesse, if you ever watch this, I love you. I hope you're doing well. Um, so yeah, there's that, and then we have a DIY show on Halloween at a skate park, so that'll be cool. That those are if you want to know, if you want to ask, not saying you have to ask this, but if you want to know some random places we play some random places. It's funny. Are we going to tour the end of this year? That's a hard maybe. We were supposed to, and we still kind of want to, but the problem is we don't have a van. And so we've been trying to buy one, and our bass player's roommate is selling his, but it's kind of bad. There's some things wrong with it. And now they're out in the Philippines and he can't really buy it. So what he is doing is he's borrowing it. And so we're writing down like the list of like, hey, this is something wrong with it. Hey, this is something wrong with it. Because he wants like 7 grand or something ridiculous, which is fair. It's a van, it's only got like 8,000 miles or whatever. But the problem is it's beat the fuck up inside. Like it's destroyed. So we're just kind of like, is there a way we can get this for like five? Because we're your friends and you love us. So we'll see what happens with that. But one place we were supposed to go that everybody has like not cringed, but been like, ooh, I don't know, you want to go there. And we just thought it would be the funniest shit because we're still kind of new as a band. We've only been a band for 3 years. Um, I have been in the scene for like 10 and all that stuff. But one of the places we were supposed to go was Tijuana. See, you're like, uh, and so, but we have a connection out there. We have some friends out there, and they said it's not as bad as what people say. Now, is that the truth? Who knows? But I'm not going to call them a liar. And also at the same time, they did say they were like, it's not like you're gonna wander at night, just stay near the venue, you're chill, it's anywhere else. But also you gotta imagine like another thing, and this could be different, and I'm not saying Oakland's bad, but a lot of people have the belief that like Oakland is so dangerous out here where we live. Dude, we played like 12 shows, like back to back to back in like the hood, like some sketch ass places, and nothing's happened. There was one incident where this guy like grabbed one of our beers that was on the ground, or I shouldn't say one of ours. It was ours, but I don't drink, so like not my beer. And our bass player and him almost got in a fight over it because like it was money he spent, and he wasn't trying to fight him, but it was like this guy was like, hey, F you, blah blah blah, and it's like, bro, just give us back the alcohol, dog. Like, come on, there's like 7 of us, there's one of you. Nobody thinks you're weak, but like you did jack it from us, and we were all right here, watched you do it. We're not stupid. He gave it back. It was fine. But it was kind of funny at the same time. Uh yeah, so we were supposed to tour. We probably won't. Also at the same time, our guitar player, fuck it, I'm just gonna say it's kind of funny. So he doesn't have a passport, and he is Mexican, and we love him, and he's amazing. He's my best friend. I love this guy. And so we were joking, like in the band, we are saying like, man, how are we gonna get Francisco like to Tijuana? And we were jokingly thinking about making a TikTok skit, and it was just like we all have an idea. Do one of these, and then right next to our practice spot is Home Depot. We just slowly drive to it. Or whatever, and then we're like, all right, Francisco, we'll see you in Tijuana. And then yeah, and then he was just like, yeah, but I'm now in Alligator Alcatraz. So that's a whole thing. I don't know. Anyways, sorry. Hopefully that doesn't get me canceled. Oh well.
Nowadays, isn't everything game? Who
Kind of, yeah,
cares?
at this point.
Um, what plans do you have in store between now and the next year, if anything that you would like to share?
Huh. Well, as a band and a unit, I think our plans and goals are just the same goal it has been. And that's just like, just keep moving forward, doing the best that we can, putting out the best product that we have the ability to, and that we believe in. And hopefully tour because we're trying to buy a van because we want to hit the road more. We love our local scene. It's been amazing to us, and everybody's been amazing. And but we're hungry, and we want to try to see the world more and explore and tour. And so that's why we've been really hard on trying to get a van. And we did a test run. We did a tour that was amazing. I booked it all myself except for one date. Shout out Jeff, appreciate you for that Las Vegas date. Oh man, dude, Natalie, you want to hear a story? I'll finish your question and I'll give you a story. I'll give you a story. Clip it. So every band, oh God. Okay. So to the rest of our goal is, yeah, just the same thing. Probably any band. We just really want to record put out the rest of our music, keep going as a unit, and hopefully going as far as we can. I know that sounds so cliche, but it really is the truth. I mean, to be honest, like I could have said like, oh, making it, but like where it really is making it, you know. When you're younger, it's like probably rich and famous, and it still kind of is, but at the same time, like I'm just trying to live my life and have fun with my friends and just keep going. And you know, if we get bigger, so be it. Hell yeah. If we don't, oh well. That sucks. But like at least I still have my friends and we can still keep playing and doing music. But basically just tour. To my personal self, if I had to answer it that way, I'm on like a big fitness journey right now, excluding me drinking this Dr. Pepper cream soda. You saw nothing. So I'm trying to lose weight. There's that. And I am just trying to live my best life. What about you? That's a good question. What about you? I know this is our interview, but I feel like that's a question I got to ask you. What are
Um,
your goals and dreams?
my goal currently is to reach 3,000 interviews, and I'm at 2,800 something, so I'm almost there. I don't know if I'll hit 3,000 by the end of this year, but
Dude,
hopefully next
I
year.
got you. I'm gonna just send like bands to you and be like, check it out, 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 check it out. Especially if you're from LA. I didn't get a chance to do this, but like, shout out all of San Diego and LA. You guys were awesome. Call me the. Oh, first of all, don't fear the end. Oh God, I don't know if you can see my shirt. They're our friends. Love these guys. I drove. Okay, so my girlfriend was way too good to me, and I appreciate her. I want, and this is gonna make everybody cringe, and you're probably gonna cringe because I know. I mean, you might like them. I know that you like Vampires Everywhere, so you might like this band. But she okay, and she hates this group. She's put up with them now because I make her listen to it. But it was the Bunny, the Bear, and Broken Side, and they played at the Whiskey Go Go, and we drove 8 hours to go there, and this band played. And so me being in a band, you know, we get there like way early, like when the band slowed in. So I'm just talking to all the local bands, like, hey, what's up? Blah 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 blah. And so we became friends with them and all that stuff. And they're from San Diego, and they're all right. So I know a little bit more bands in San Diego, but we did just play LA, and so I got to shout out Oreo or Silverback Booking. Thank you so much again. Like he puts on amazing shows. The Che Cafe in San Diego was amazing. Um, that was one of the dates in our tour. And then we played Phoenix, Arizona at Kingdom Boxing. That was a whole boxing ring. And then our third date on our one tour run was Las Vegas, which is a whole story, which I'll tell you after. But I forgot what I'm getting at. This is a problem of mine. Um, yeah, so I can help you because you're from the LA area, and so there's a lot of bands in that area. If you need bands and all that stuff, because I'm sure everybody would love a little bit of coverage in their life. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I shout out 1,000 Pardons and I Kidnapped Princess. You guys were awesome. All the other bands were awesome too, but I'm not gonna lie, I forgot your guys' names. So don't hate me. Don't hate me. And there's a lot of other bands in the San Diego scene. Call Me the Boxer. I think I said them too. Deadly Premonition. I love you guys. Other than that, yeah, we'll make that happen, Natalie. We're gonna get 3,000. It's gonna happen, and then you're gonna be like, damn, now I gotta get five, and then now you're gonna be in our problem where it's just like, oh fuck, how do we gotta keep going more and higher? And just like, damn it. All right, before we get to the next question, I will tell you the Vegas story, and I'll make it short because I know we're on a time frame. Ah, oh my God, Natalie. Okay, so what happened was we did a tour and we expected it to go kind of bad because, you know, it's our first tour. You can't expect much.
Mhm.
I tell you what, right now, we made $1,500 on tour. And people are probably like, or you're probably like, because you have a normal job. Oh, you know, that ain't nothing or whatever. But it's like for a touring band, that's pretty good. We sold all our merch. We made money from all three shows. And I'll tell you what happened. And we're not going to play the blame game because we've moved on as a unit. But mind you, again, I don't drink. We played in Vegas and we lost all our money in Vegas. And we left that backpack full of money and microphones at the bar, and it was never seen again. And we drove 8 hours home, and then we're unloading the van, and we're like, "Where's the money?" And it was not with us. Thank God we drove 8 hours home, though. Like, we drove 8 hours before we realized it was gone. It would have been fucked if we drove like 5 or 4, and then we're like, "Oh no," because it's too late to go back. You know, if it was an hour in, it could have been saved, but it might have been stolen. So I just look at it as like we made it home safely. Everybody's alive. It's not a big deal. Um, so, and you know what the best part though, and this is what I will say, because ultimately I'll just be honest, it was pretty much my fault. I left the bag because I was overwhelmed because my rest of my band went off drinking and having fun, and I'm the one stuck there watching our shit. But mind you, we also backlined for the other bands, so I'm watching the gear, the money, and everything by myself. So that's where it went wrong. But anyways, happy with our band. We stayed a band, and everybody's happy, and we've made our money back, which is fine. But it would have been nice to have that money because we wouldn't have had to like front half of the money again and then also play an extra shows to make the money again. And we probably would have hoodies or something. We have new shirts coming, but no new design. It's just the same design, but now a different variant, which is fine. So be it. Yeah.
All right. And last question. Where can we listen to your band and buy your merch and find out, more about you online as far as social media goes and all that stuff?
Instagram is the best place. Follow us there. We have a Facebook. I don't use Facebook. I'm the one that runs a lot of the social media, and it's hard for me to run multiple accounts. So Instagram's the best place. We don't have an online store, but if you want anything from far away, you can DM it. I check it every day. Um, and I can and will mail it to you. Even if you're overseas, we will find a way. For our music, it should be everywhere. Should be. DistroKid. Not saying it's bad, but it's supposed to do that for you. So should be everywhere. Let me know if it's not. Instagram, remember, The Beauty and Death with a CA at the end because some other emo person out there stole our goddamn name. So we had to put a CA on it, which is fine. California, sorry, the rest of the world. You don't count. You get it. No, I'm just kidding. Um, we have a TikTok. Uh, that is run by our bass player Rook. We love Rook, and it's mostly just full of dumb gag skits because it's not that we're bad at social media, but at the same time, like we're kind of old, relatively, and I don't know, like we none of us were social media type people, and it's like we're having to learn it while also doing music, and it's just like as you could see if you watch the rest of the interview we got so much shit going on. It's hard to keep track of everything. And then also a big thing that happened is I've been dealing with migraines. And so I can't look at my phone as much and I can't do a lot of the editing. So I've started passing like responsibilities to other people. But what happens is like I know how it should look and then it's not as good. So I'm just like, you got to do it again. And that's a whole thing. So anyway, sorry, another tangent. Instagram is the best place. Music should be everywhere. If it's not, please let me know. But if you have any questions, you want to ask us, you want to book us, you want to play, Instagram is the best place. I don't think we have a Twitter. So if somebody wants to go steal it from us, do it now before it's too late. And you can post all of the AI thirst traps of us and then be like, yo, man, did you see them? And then we're just going to laugh and be like, damn, that's crazy.